How you doing, everybody? My name is Mark Pastor, and with me is,
Elio and Bernoni.
and this is our show. This is Roll the Dice with Elio and Mark. If this was a normal May 19th night, we'd be in the middle of hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB would be rolling. But right now, we don't have anything. We're in a weird time. So now what we're going to do is Elio is going to give you some horse picks for Thursday. And I have one NFL football season total that I'm looking at.
Before we get into these picks,
Yeah.
so I don't know if everybody knows. Well, why would everybody know? But I had a winning Stanley Cup pick last year, the St. Louis Blues. And one of the things that I'm really upset about is what are my best friends, the Pastor brothers, decided to have a side text that didn't include me in it.
Elio, it was unbearable. We couldn't listen to it anymore. It was
So what
I mean, after like game 2, the breakdown of the penalties, I couldn't deal with it. It just was no more. We couldn't deal with it anymore.
So you three were just bad mouthing me.
Nobody was bad mouthing you. We just couldn't listen. No, nobody was bad mouthing you. We just said, we're Bruins fans. You're betting on the Blues. Although, and I will say, you're one of the bigger Bruins fans I know.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault that the Bruins finally made the Cup. I mean,
I wouldn't say finally. It's 3 times in 8 years, but
yeah. Well, listen, I didn't expect them to make the Cup, so I could have the Bruins.
If they had to lose in Game 7 at home, I'm glad you won.
Can you show me at some point what was said in those side texts? I want to see what they were.
They're long gone.
Yeah, they're long gone. I want to check the tape. Like my brother-in-law in blackjack in the Bahamas, every maybe 6-7 hands, he wants to check the tape just to make sure something's going on.
He's into videos.
So you want to pick from me, okay? So
first off, let me just say that Elio is not just any run-of-the-mill guy. I've known Elio for 35 years. He wins at horses. A couple of years ago, he won an entry into the World Series of horse handicapping. Who knew such a thing even existed?
I did.
But he took me to Vegas with him. It did exist. We didn't do so well, but we had fun.
We had a free trip to Vegas.
We had a trip to Vegas. So, Elio, go ahead and give out your horse picks for Thursday.
So, again, with the horse breakdown, I know not everybody is as into horses as I am. So I try to make it as simple as possible. I'm only going to take one horse. It's Thursday afternoon. It's actually the first race. It's a turf race. And I figure what happens is if I hit a couple races, then I could obviously give more picks, but I'm not going to give 10 picks. Nobody's going to follow 10 picks on a Thursday afternoon. So I'm going to take the 4-horse Winfield Prophet in the first race. He is going to be going off at about 10-1. I always say turf races that the payouts are much bigger. I think favorites don't come in as often in turf races. Everybody knows that. This opened them up in Saratoga when usually a trainer opens a horse and runs their first race in Saratoga. They must think he's pretty good because nobody goes there unless they have a decent horse. So he ran a couple races as a 2-year-old. And he was middle of the pack, but one of my big angles is second race coming into a 3-year-old, and that's what he is. He ran a first race about a month ago. He came in second place, and he's had one work since. He bullet worked first out of 9 horses that day. So I think he's ready. He's had about a little over 30 days to rest from the first race, coming back as a 3-year-old. Love the angle, love the trainer, Shug McGahee. So at 10-1, it's a good way to start off Gulfstream.
I was just going to ask you, so it's a 10-1, so that is a nice one to go with. So that sounds good, Al. Hey,
yeah,
good reasoning.
That's my pick, and I'm just still.
That's from a World Series guy. It's from a guy from the World Series.
I'm just concerned about those side texts. That's the only thing I'm a little bit nervous about.
Don't worry about those. All right, so the NFL season total that I'm looking at a team that I feel like, you kind of take a look at somebody that's won the off season. That's got the big names coming in. That's got everyone excited. Kind of like the Cleveland Browns last year, where everyone was saying going to the Super Bowl, and they won 6 games.
Yep.
So obviously, I'm looking at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they got Tom Brady, greatest
You are,
quarterback of all
I think, a
time.
Brady hater. You should
No.
just go
Rob
on the public
Gronkowski
site.
coming out of retirement, but is the public blowing him up a little bit more? Sometimes these teams that add all these big names, it doesn't always
Absolutely.
work right
I
away.
agree with that.
So I took a look at 3 different shops today, and everyone's got 9.5, but varying juices. Bookmakers at 156, Bet Online
Over?
140.
Is it over?
The over 9.5 over 156. Bet Online minus 140. Heritage minus 120. So when I look at Bookmaker, and Bookmaker's a shop that's known for taking big play, their lines are probably really tight. I'm thinking they're juicing that up so high, they're a little nervous to bump that to 10. They think they're going to take a bunch of unders there. So I'm watching that one there. I think Brady, 43, first time on a new offense that isn't necessarily built for him. It's more of a downfield passing offense, which might not be his forte at this point in his career. I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on that under, and if that total hits 10, I would definitely suggest jumping on it at 10.
Well, I could see 10-6 in that division. I mean, that division doesn't scare me. That's the only problem. Besides New Orleans,
they have 15 lined games right now. Their game against the Raiders is no line. Out of the 15, they're favorites in 13. But of they're favored in 13. Of the remaining 13, 7 of them, they're less than a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, so they have
4 of them, they're 1-point favorites. So they come out of the gate a little. It's a weird off season.
Oh,
they
yeah,
come out of the
definitely.
gate a little slow.
Definitely, they could.
9
Especially
and
they're gonna play New Orleans at home. They're in New Orleans the first game. They're not winning that game.
Then they're home with Carolina. Then they're in Denver. That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then they come home to play the Chargers. They might go 3-1, but they easily could go 2-2.
Yeah, I see more likely 2-2.
Yeah. So that's the one I'm looking at. I got others I'm looking at, but we'll hold on. There's no reason to take anything, now. The season's 4 months away.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I'm looking at. So anything else?
No, let's just roll the dice. That's it.
Roll the dice. That's it for us tonight. We'll be back later in the week. Elio will have some weekend card action for you. And that's it for us, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Lights out for us.